circumstances under which you've been able to negotiate better conditions for workers then, if full-on unionisation isn't really...
The political parties of Northern Ireland have reached agreement.
We help you understand the world with us.
Today, we have reached an agreement with the Conservative Party on support for government in Parliament.
We already know what the government gets out of this deal. What exactly does the DUP get out of it? Well, £1.5 billion. Welcome to Winterfell. It's an iconic location in this globally acclaimed drama. Ophelia was the most powerful hurricane this far east in the Atlantic on record. You can't live in a place like this and not appreciate the environment.
Welcome back. Well, it's a bit of breaking news to bring you now. Dame Cressida Dick has departed New Scotland Yard for the last time. She quit in February after the London Mayor Sadiq Khan expressed his displeasure with her response to widespread public outrage over offensive messages exchanged by a group of officers based at Charing Cross Police Station. More on that throughout the morning here on Sky News. Well, stock markets in the Asia-Pacific region had a positive session overnight with gains in Tokyo, Hong Kong, Shanghai, Mumbai and in Sydney. But the Nikkei 225 in Tokyo still finished down by almost 2.5% on the week as a whole. That's its worst performance for a month. Well, in Europe, stocks are heading into the weekend on an upbeat note. Here's the current picture. All of the main indices in positive territory, all up by around 1% or so. Main talking points in Europe today. Banco BPM, which is Italy's third largest lender, is up by 14%. That's after the French bank Crédit Agricole declared a 9.2% stake. Well, here in London, the FTSE 100 is also in positive territory right now, up some 70 points right now, nearly 1% to the good. It's a broad-based rally, means the FTSE's potentially online for its fifth consecutive week of gains. BP and Shell alone have added some 26 points to the index this morning. Outside the FTSE, EasyJet is up by some 2% in sympathy with Jet2, while the broking and trading platform CMC Markets, its shares are ahead by some 7.5% on a trading update. Elsewhere, the Ukrainian miner Ferexpo is up by 12% as it said it was exploring alternative ways to get its iron ore pellets out of the country amid a blockade of its ports. And the bowling operator Hollywood Bowl, shirt sponsors of Brentford Football Club, of course, they're up by some 7% right now on a trading update. On the foreign exchange markets, it's all about the US dollar right now. The greenback is at a near two-week high against a basket of currencies on rate rise expectations. The pound is currently off by a fifth of 1% against both the US dollar and the euro. As for the oil price, well, that drifted lower late yesterday, but staged a modest rally this morning. A barrel of Brent crude is currently trading at $101.19 a barrel. That is up 0.2%. Well, we'll get back to our markets guest in a moment, but we're just going to break into the business news because we have some breaking news. The alleged killer of the primary school teacher Sabina Nessa has been sentenced to life imprisonment. 36-year-old Kojo Selamaj pleaded guilty to Sabina's murder at a previous hearing and has just been handed his court sentence. Alex Rossi reports.
This is how those that knew Sabina Nessa want to remember her, a smiling and happy primary school teacher. Her murder has left her family, seen arriving here at the Old Bailey, devastated and angry. Another shocking case of violence against women.
My sister was funny, lovable, caring. It's been horrendous. It's broken us deeply. We have never thought that we'll be in this situation. Like, you would hear this on the news, but you wouldn't hear that it was happening to you. Getting that phone call saying that she's not here anymore just was like the worst case, like a bad dream.
And this is the man who murdered her. On the 25th of February this year, Kojo Selamaj, a petrol station worker from Eastbourne and an Albanian national, pleaded guilty. The 36-year-old had driven to Kidbrooke in southeast London from his home in September last year to carry out a premeditated attack on a woman with extreme violence. He targeted the 28-year-old as she made her way through this park to meet a friend. At this supermarket, video shows him purchasing a rolling pin before returning to his car. It's there he swaps it for a motoring warning triangle. Selamaj used it to strike Sabina 34 times, leaving her unconscious. He then dragged her into a long grassy bank. The prosecution maintains there was a sexual motive. Number plate recognition cameras helped lead detectives to his address, where a search uncovered the shoes he'd been wearing. Blood found on the trainers matched the victim.
Multiple pieces of evidence that brought it all together and, in my opinion, put Selamaj in a position where he had no alternative other than plead guilty. That was the strength of the evidence.
But it is what happened earlier that raises questions. At lunchtime on the day of the attack, he'd tried to check into a room early he'd booked at the Grand Hotel in Eastbourne. But staff had become concerned and called the police, but they didn't attend, claiming the matter was resolved. Selamaj would later return after he'd committed the murder, still wearing the same clothes.
After my sister's attack, I was scared to walk down the streets alone. I would come home during the day as long as there's daylight. The thought of coming home in the night was scary, making sure that I would walk down the main road rather than the side roads now.
This case, like that of Sarah Everard, has once again reignited the debate about the safety of women in public places. But the sentence handed down is unlikely to reassure them that things are going to change.
OK, we can go live now to the Old Bailey, where our national correspondent Alex Rossi has the latest.
Well, Ian, it has been an extraordinarily harrowing few days in court for the family of Sabina Nessa. They arrived again today, hearing some of the details about what happened to their daughter and their sister. Mr. Justice Sweeney says that there was a sexual motive in this case. Yesterday, of course, they saw some extremely difficult closed-circuit television video of the moments that Sabina Nessa was attacked. She was struck some 34 times by Selamaj. He was wielding a motoring triangle, a warning triangle, some 2 foot long. He then dragged her body away, and it's thought that she was most likely strangled at that point. Now, the body wasn't discovered until the next day by dog walkers. Now, in sentencing, Mr. Justice Sweeney has handed down a sentence of some 36 years. He said it is perhaps unlikely that Selamaj will actually ever walk free from prison. He called this a serious murder. Sabina was a wholly blameless victim of a murder that was entirely the fault of the defendant. Sabina was a life that mattered, a life that did not deserve to be taken. She had every right to be walking through the park. Now, of course, this happened in September last year. She had been on her way from her house. It's about a 5-minute walk through Cator Park in southeast London in Kidbrooke to the Depot pub where she was due to meet a friend. She was a primary school teacher. She was loved in the community with which she worked. She was loved by the children that she taught. And of course, at the centre of all of this now, the family who have lost a daughter and a sister. But this is a case that has once again also reignited the debate about violence against women in public places. Of course, the police have come under extreme criticism for that, following, of course, on from the murder case of Sarah Everard. Many people, I think, once again, after hearing some of the details in this case, will be calling for even greater measures to protect women in public places.
PR Interventions amplifies yours. Organized products and categories. Welcome to Gabby Dave Global. We are a UK-based online e-commerce store the first of its kind with license to trade in African products. Some of the products are clothing brands and all beauty accessories, hair and beauty brands, natural aphrodisiacs, processed and dried unprocessed food. Our mission at Gabby Dave is to connect African and Caribbean businesses to customers globally. At Gabby Dave, we ensure our sellers get the best deal for their products. We are not just here to help you reach a wider audience. We are also a distribution center to support business growth by fulfilling orders to your customers from our warehouse, making sure customers receive their products on time. We are inviting all Black-owned businesses to trade on our platform because we strongly believe Africans have a unique brand the customer would appreciate globally. So get in touch today and let us make your product and business go far. Here are some of the benefits of using Gabby Dave Global. User-friendly platform, track your shipment, online support, transparent process, multiple SKUs, multiple products, a platform that encourages manufacturers as well as traders. Our marketing and PR interventions amplifies yours. Organized products and categories for easy access and navigation. Access to global community, especially within UK and Europe.
Money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission-free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Starr, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Tune in to On Point here on Star Radio UK with Empress Regina every Monday at 5 p.m. GMT. Looking forward to your company.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Star Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Are you looking for the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy door-to-door shipment company? Well, look no further. When was the last time your family received a shipment back in Ghana on time and in time? You are not sure? Well, Lamb Shippers, we pride ourselves with being the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy shippers you can use. You are assured of a prompt pickup anywhere in the UK by our personnel. They also make sure your items are well packaged to get to its destination in time. When it comes to door-to-door shipment, look no further. Well, Lamb Shippers, contact us on 07939009321 or 07498911820. Or you can visit our website www.welllamp.co.uk. You can also drop us a mail, info@welllamp@gmail.com. Well Lamp Shippers, fast, reliable, and trustworthy.
Check me out. He tells me my energy is making him tired.
Yes!
How do you get the energy to do
I've been told that I have a lot of energy, but my goodness, I think today I have met my match, people. I have met my match, Miss Suzanne. Wow, amazing.
One of the things that's the start of the darkness. Of darkness. So what did that?
Myself and the world will adjust. And 2019,
forget the proverbial boardroom. Join me, Simone Frazier, on The CEO, the program that gives you the driving seat over your life. Every Tuesday, 8 p.m. only on Starr Radio.
Hi there. Are you dreaming of owning your own house in Ghana? Then you will need a well-documented piece of land that is free from troubles. I highly recommend My Africa Property for any size of land that you will need. With My Africa Property, lands are available in Prampram, Sopoli, Tohenia, Ogome, Dodova, Winneba, and many other locations at affordable prices. These locations are about an hour away from the airport, only 35 minutes from the motorway, 10 minutes drive from Central University College, 10 minutes drive to the beach, and close to Prampram Senior High School and Ghana Men's Soccer Center of Excellence. For more details, visit our website www.myafricaproperty.com or call our UK office on 0208 123 2523. For our US and Canada offices, call us on +1 585 184 994145. You can also email us at ghana@myafricaproperty.com.
Body, it's your man. Bekutu, show them you got the cocoa set. Ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy Harry Song, aka Mr. Songs. This is the Kingmaker Baba for the girls. We're here. This is Starr Radio. Don't go nowhere. UK, London. We they call them London for home. For here, we they call them London.
Hi there, this is CJ. And whenever I'm in London, I listen to Starr Radio UK right here. But guess what? You can listen to wherever you are.
Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7.
All around the world. In your car.
At work.
At home.
On your smartphone.
This is Starr Radio UK. Are you ready to turn it up?
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Smile, though your heart is aching. Smile even though it's breaking. When there are clouds in the sky, you get by. If you smile through your fear and sorrow, smile and maybe tomorrow you find that life is still worthwhile if you just smile. Hey, this is Archie and you're listening to Starr Radio UK and the Morning Show.
This is Starr Radio UK. In your car.
At work.
At home.
On your smartphone.
And that is how I say a massive hello and good morning to you wherever you might be on planet Earth. Those of you who have joined us from across the globe, wherever you might be, and those of you on other planets as well, I want to salute you, each and every one of you, and welcome you to the 8th day of April, the year 2022. It's a Friday morning and the Friday edition of the morning show. It is always a pleasure to come your way. Let me say massive good morning to my colleagues, Mr. Frank Davids, who stood in the stead for me, Mr. Olayomi Kojo D, and Mr. Dan Tabiri, CEO of GIL Accountancy Services and Money Man, wherever you all are. Gentlemen, massive good morning to you. And to my able producer, Mr. Francis Guy, making sure everything is ticking along nicely. Francis, good morning, and thank you very much as well. Well, bear with me with my clogged nose. And I'm glad I'm still alive, well and kicking, and I'm here to share the time from now until 1 o'clock with you. If it's the first time of tuning in, this program comes your way every weekday from exactly 10 o'clock to 1 o'clock, except for Wednesdays, where even that one comes as well from 10 to 1, where we take you to the Houses of Parliament for the Prime Minister's question at 12 o'clock. But do me a massive favor, share the broadcast with your friends and loved ones and invite them to like our pages. And again, if it's your first time of tuning in to listen to us, this is how the program goes on Fridays. I'm going to bring you the quote for the day, the weather forecast to follow suit, then the travel update as well. We'll move on from there to have a look at some of the stories making the rounds across the globe, known as Global Trotting. Then after that, at 11 o'clock, I'll bring you updates from Nigeria. Mr. Olayomi will not be able to join us this morning. I told you the other time that there are some upgrade work going on in the North London studio, so he will not be able to join us this morning. However, I'm going to still bring you updates from Nigeria with all the information that he's fed me with. Then after that, the conversation continues until 12 o'clock, when the lines are open for you to also add your voice to the discussion. At 12:30 exactly, we put a pause on the first part of the program and we'll go all the way to Kent, where our money man is, to bring you the money hour. Then after that, we'll bring the program to a close. So in a gist, that's what's going to be happening today. Thank you very much for tuning in once again. Share the broadcast with your friends and loved ones and invite them to like our pages as well. Playing in the background, something from the Joyful Way Incorporated, and it's a your goodness. The goodness of God is running after us, and that's why it keeps sticking along. Let me take the opportunity to say good morning to Reverend Dr. Francis Okonunu, popularly known as Bishop Nunu. I hope you are doing very well as well. Okay, so let's crack on. Mr. Kofi Ali Abdul Yakin, massive good morning to you. Felix all the way in Aberdeen, I salute you, sir. And every one of you across the globe, as I've said, all protocol observed. I remain yours sincerely, the one and only.
This is the morning show with Archie.
Okay, so let's crack on. The quote for the day saying, it is a fact that if you live your life to chance, you end up being a casualty of the changing tides of life. What do you think about that? That's why you have to have a plan. Maybe your plan will not work though. However, the good book says, commit your ways unto the hands of the Lord. Commit your plans unto Him, and He will cause it to be established. A bit of preaching there. Let me say a big amen there. Amen. All right, now let's move on to the weather forecast and the travel update as well. 10:49 the time. Starr Radio UK, the station, the morning show, the program. Well, today for London and the southeast of England, this afternoon it will be mostly cloudy with scattered showers, but there will be bright intervals at times. And this evening will continue mostly cloudy with a few lingering showers. And tonight, the cloud and showers will move away to the east, leaving most areas dry with clear skies. Another chilly night expected as well. Now, when it comes to the temperature is going to be 11 degrees. The low is going to be 2 degrees. Pollen level is going to be moderate. UV level is going to be low, and pollution is going to be low as well. Sunset will be at 19:45, and sunrise for tomorrow morning 06:21 hours. When it comes to the weekend weather, tomorrow we'll have a dry and bright start with lots of sunshine. The afternoon will still have sunny spells, but many will see patches of cloud developing with a chance of the odd shower. Come Sunday, it will be mostly dry and sunny. On Sunday morning, cloud will begin to build in during the afternoon, but there will be a few sunny spells in places. So that is the weather forecast for you. If you have anything planned, those of you in the London and the southeast of England, this is how it's going to be for you. Once again, welcome to the show. Straight to the travel update as well. Wherever you are, stay tuned, don't you go away. The travel update always comes your way from exactly 12:40. My apologies, 10:40, but coming at a later time. Let's quickly go bring you the travel update. Check it out. Keep your eyes on the road. Okay, so keep your eyes on the roads. Keep your eyes on the roads. I'm keeping updated. I promise I'm on the Starr Radio travel update that comes to you every weekday from 10:40. Now 10:51. Our Metropolitan line has got minor delays due to an earlier power failure in the Harrow on the Hill area. And as you know, Northern Line part closure is till mid-May. London Tramlink has also got until the 13th of April, Wednesday the 13th of April, no service between Therapia Lane and Wimbledon. Replacement buses are operating. That aside, all the others good service there when it comes to the London Overground, TFL Rail, DLR, all in good service. And moving on straight to the major roads in London: A1, A10, A2, A3, A316, A4, A40, Blackwall Tunnel, Central London Red Route, South Circular, A205 have all got closures. So please check before you leave. But keep your eyes on the roads, keep your eyes on the roads. I will keep enough gated, I promise I'll born. And I can tell you shortly on the river bus, there is good service throughout. I'm moving on to the final segment of the travel update. That's the National Rail. Across country has got special service, Great Western Railway minor delays, Northern Rail special service, and ScotRail minor delays there as well. And that's why I say, well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good dawn to you, wherever you might be on planet Earth. Enjoy your commute for today, but you know what? Continue to keep those eyes on the road.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission-free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Starr, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Tune in to On Point here on Starr Radio UK with Empress Regina every Monday at 5 p.m. GMT. Looking forward to your company.
Helps me.
Okay, welcome back to the program. It is Starr Radio UK. It's now time for Global Trotting. At 11 o'clock, I will bring you updates from Nigeria. As I did say earlier on, there are a few stories making the rounds here and there that I will bring you your way as well. But some of the highlights of that: DSS dragged to court for alleged illegal detention of corps members in Ondo, and then breaking security agents block court premises as Nnamdi Kanu trial resumes. And then in some other story, despite strike induced by inadequate funding, Osibanjo says government continues to invest. Well, we'll be looking into those stories and a lot more from Nigeria. And there's an interesting piece by Soyinka, who is saying that Nigeria is not a nation but a cage if we imprison people for their religious views. Well, a lot more going to be coming from there, so let's continue to stay tuned. When it comes to other parts of the world, some of the stories making the rounds in other parts of the world, Ghana and other places. Serve double salaried MPs with rate via substituted service, the Supreme Court has ordered. How would that be? Judiciary perceived to be biased, a big threat to national security, Kandapa is saying. Is it now that you are trying to wake up and smell the coffee? Alright then, and more will be coming from that front. Alright, so time for Global Trotting. In other parts of the African continent as well, Sankara lawyers demand former president's extradition. Would that happen? We'll be saying more about that. Well, party of the polls, Guinean President Condé has denounced harassment. We'll bring you more on that front. What is making them make that statement? Still in other parts of the world, dozens dead after rocket strike on railway station in Ukraine. The station in Kramatorsk used to evacuate civilians have been struck, the state railway company says. Here in the UK, Priti Patel, the Home Secretary, has apologized for Ukraine refugee visa delays. Figures show that of 40,900 refugees granted visa, only 12,000 have reached the UK. Smearing my wife to get at me is awful, says Sunak. Those are some of the stories making the rounds. And a man has been jailed for murdering teacher Sabina Neza. The primary school teacher was murdered at random by a man with a history of violence. Well, a lot more going to be coming your way. Those of you who are embarking on their trips outside the country at the moment, where air travel industry warned over Easter disruption, last minute cancellations and delays could damage consumer confidence, says aviation watchdog. Well, for 2 years we didn't have the opportunity to travel. Now it's time for people to now travel, and then we have the airlines also having problems. That is quite a big one there. Wherever you are, continue to stay tuned. Don't touch the dial. We'll take a quick break, and once we come back, I will bring you updates from Nigeria. There's lots happening. Stay tuned. Don't you go away. Every morning, may the goodness of God follow you. Yes? So thank you. Just stay tuned whilst I bring you enjoy the rest of that music, and then we'll continue with the updates from Nigeria.
This is Starr Radio UK.
Singing of the goodness of God by the Joyful Way Incorporated. I was going to say a cover version by the Joyful Way Incorporated. I was going to say the Betty Revival Choir. But welcome once again to the program. It is Starr Radio UK. To every one of you who's tuned in this morning to listen to us, we salute each and every one of you, and thank you once again for tuning in to listen to us. Now let's go to Nigeria to bring you updates from Nigeria, because it's 4 minutes past the top of the hour. Like I said earlier on, due to some upgrade work that is going on in the studios, in our North London studios, Mr. Olayomi will not be able to come live to you. Monday, God willing, if we are live, he will be here and we will bring you updates from Nigeria. But now I still got some information that he served me with, and therefore I'm going to be bringing them all your way. Okay, so stay tuned and don't you go away. Now, interestingly, the first story: security agents at block court premises as Nnamdi Kanu trial resumes once again. The story says that, security agents around the Federal High Court in Abuja on Friday blocked all roads leading to the court premises, making it almost impossible for people to have easy access. Nnamdi Kanu, leader of the band Indigenous People of Biafra IPOB, is expected to appear in court before Justice Binta Nyako today to resume the 15-count charge leveled against him by the Nigerian government. Now, reports gathered by his newspaper revealed that security agents of the Department of State Services and the police have barricaded roads to tighten security at the Federal High Court in Abuja. Sources around the court said all roads leading to the court premises have been barricaded by armed security officers. People, including vehicles, are restricted access around the court premises. Now, Kanu's trial day always witnessed a large security presence. This is not surprising, as the separatist leader has massive following both home and abroad. Well, I have some pictures showing barricaded roads, but I will not be able to share with you, but coming with that update from there as well. And so on that, I have some further. The story says Kanu is expected to appear in court before Justice Binta Nyako to face a 15 charge bordering on terrorism and felony. The charges were leveled against him by the Nigerian government. However, reports had it that the Chief Judge of the Federal High Court, Justice Tosho, ordered a secret trial of all terrorism cases. To this end, Kanu's trial may be shifted to the Code of Conduct Tribunal, that's the CCT. Now, meanwhile, Justice Nyako is expected to rule on Kanu's fundamental human rights suit against the federal government. Now, did you see anything different happening on that front? Well, whilst we are on air, if there is any updates from there, I'll be bringing it your way. I promise to do so. But it's all coming your way from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. That is updates from Nigeria. Now, the Southern Kaduna crisis also goes on, and information coming through says that the Chief of Defense Staff, General Lucky Irabo, has warned perpetrators of the heinous attack in Southern Kaduna to stop such wholesome act or face the full wrath of the law henceforth. Now, General Irabo gave the warning in Kafachan on Thursday during a peace parley with stakeholders involved in the crisis in Southern Kaduna. According to him, to effectively face the lingering security challenge in the area, the presence of security operatives and equipment will be improved. He called on communities in Southern Kaduna to come up with joint committees that would seriously discuss issues relating to the crisis with a view of coming up with solutions that will ensure lasting peace in the area. The Kaduna State Commissioner, the Kaduna State Commissioner, Ministry of Internal Security and Home Affairs, Samuel Aruwan, in his speech, explained that the state government had directed the Commissioner, Kafachan Municipal Authority, Mrs. Phoebe Sukayayi, to set up a committee regarding the security issues to promote peace in the area. Now, Samuel Aruwan, who's represented Governor Nasser Al-Rufai, assured of the determination of the state government towards ensuring peace in southern Kaduna. Well, so those are some stories making the rounds in that part of the world. It is All Star Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Okay. Now moving on straight to some other stories as well. Now, presidential primaries it's going to be taking place in the various parties, APC, PDP, and all the PPP that we have. We'll choose any available option. The APC chairman is saying, the APC chairman Abdullahi Adamu, the national chairman of the All Progressive Congress, APC, has said the party will deploy either of the three strategies in its next presidential primaries. Adamu disclosed that APC will use either direct, indirect primaries or consensus in picking the party's flag bearer in the next primary election. He disclosed this while fielding questions from State House correspondents after his meeting with President Muhammadu Buhari at the Presidential Villa Abuja yesterday. When asked on the next route for the party's primaries, Adamu said, "When we get there, we'll talk. All right. We'll talk. All right. But the options are there: direct primaries, indirect, and consensus. The party has a choice which of these paths to take." Now, some top Nigerians have declared to run for the presidency on the platform of the APC. Politicians like Bola Tinubu, Rocha Okorocha, Oji Uzo Kalu, among others, have declared to run for the presidency. But the question that is on the lips of everyone is that, will there be that election? And what will be the patronage? How many people will actually patronize that election, will go in to vote? Let me say good morning to Anthony Adedeji. Anthony, I hope you are doing very, very well there as well. But it's all coming your way from Star Radio UK. What do you think about that? Will the election hold? Or we're going to be seeing different things going on? Okay, so bringing you more stories from Nigeria. The gunmen have attacked, information coming through, says that gunmen have attacked livestock market in Anambra, killed over 20 cows and goats. Now the question is, who perpetrated this evil deed? Is it retaliation? What exactly is that? Unknown gunmen reportedly attacked the livestock market yesterday in Ko Egboko, an area in the Aguta local government area of Anambra State. At least 20 cows and several goats were killed by the assailants. The animals were seen lifeless in the pool of blood in a video clip shared on Twitter hours ago. Now, some of the affected traders and residents were seen also in the video running into the bush after sighting some men approaching the market. They, however, returned and observed their assumption was wrong. The traders were humbled with fear, even as they examined the gunshot wounds on some of the cattle they have been killed as they stood in circles discussing. Well, it is a sad one. Insecurity to such magnitude. It is sad. I'm looking at a picture that have been posted on Twitter there, and it's sad. It's sad. For all you know, somebody's lifetime, all the savings that they've done is that to cattle that they have, and then it's just been slaughtered. Are they going to? I mean, it's been shot there. So, I mean, interestingly, I don't know whether it will be haram because it's been shot there, so blood has oozed out, right? So, can they serve it? Can they sell it? Can they sell them? What do you think? I don't know if you are there and you have all the necessary information pertaining to that, so that at least we'll be able to salvage something from that front. What do you think about all that? It's all coming away from Star Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. So bringing you some more when it comes to the 2023 election that is set to take place next year. God willing, Olayomi has got a clock. There's already a countdown to that election. I know it's 300 plus days, less than a year. We'll be telling you more about that. It is Starr Radio UK. 11:13 the time, the morning show, the program. I am Archie. Now, a former senator, Dino Malayi, has called on the national leadership of the People's Democratic Party to caution ex-governor Ayo Fayose of Ekiti State against demarketing its presidential contenders for the 2023 general election, describing him as a presidential gambler. He was reacting to the comments by Fayose against former Vice President Atiku Abubakar and ex-Senate President Bukola Saraki, Saraki, over the collection of the presidential nomination forms. Now, Malayi said this in a statement titled, "The presidency is not Pomo and Amala on Friday." Now, Malayi said this in a statement. Now, according to him, Fayose's comment is a strategy to allegedly shore up the chances of his political godfather in All Progressive Congress. He said, inebriated by several raps of Amala in Abuja, a former governor of Ekiti State, Ayodele Fayose, in his characteristic exuberance, directed in innocent and indecorous attacks at two serious contenders for the presidential ticket of the PDP, His Excellency Atiku Abubakar and His Excellency Bukola Saraki. Incidentally, the mauling of Amala gained more publicity over the collection of presidential nomination form in a pretentious exhibition of dining with the masses. The frugal populism has since been deflated by the allegation of charges for the ferreting of billions of naira from public office coffers in Ekiti State. Is Amala and Abula so expensive? That's the question that people are asking. The issue before Nigerians now is not who can eat more, but who can produce food. That is why the attempt to tar the outstanding achievement of Atiku Abubakar as former Vice President and Bukola Saraki as former Senate President by Fayose will be discounted as the belching perfidy of a presidential gambler. It is all coming your way from Starr Radio UK. 15 minutes past the top of the hour. That's 15 minutes past 11. And it's the Friday edition of the morning show. Some more stories coming your way from Nigeria with updates from Nigeria. Now, so moving on to some other stories there. Well, the Vice President, the current incumbent Vice President, Osibanjo Grassroots Organization on Thursday stormed Ibadan, the Oyo State capital, to mobilize support for Vice President Yemi Osibanjo to succeed the President, Major General Muhammadu Buhari. The Directors General of Ogo in the states in the southwest took turn to state the attributes of the Vice President, we just said qualified him ahead of other presidential aspirants for the top job. The DG of Ogo in Ekiti State, Femi Adeleye, said Osibanjo was the type of leader needed by Nigerians to fix a country that is facing numerous problems like Nigeria is facing. But the question is, he is part of government. So why is he not putting his contribution on the table so that it will better all Nigerians? Now, Adeleye, when asked why Osibanjo had yet to publicly declare his intention to contest the 2023 presidential poll, said Professor Yemi Osibanjo will make the declaration latest in 2 days' time. It may even be tomorrow. The Lagos Director General of Ogo, Soga Owoye, said Osibanjo was way ahead of all the contestants, saying his credentials and untainted record of public service were there for everybody to see. He said the Vice President did not have corruption baggage, and he had been assuring Buhari in the last 7 years, saying he would not need to be touted on the problem facing the country and how to tackle them. So the question once again is, do you think Osinbajo is the right person to turn Nigeria back or put Nigeria back on track to where it's destined to be? Now, he said Nigeria needs to move away from the old leadership to a new set, which Professor Yemi Osinbajo represents. Now, we have seen a bit of what he can do when he stood in for the president. He did very well, and if people in other regions of the country are clamoring for him to contest and are supporting him, I believe we in the Southwest should give him our overwhelming support. He is a leader that can fix our problems. We don't need somebody who will come and spend years of months to start learning where to start. Professor Osinbajo is endowed with wisdom, experience, and strength to do the job, so he deserves our support. Well, that is some credentials there, and appellation for the current vice president. Do you think he is the one to fix Nigeria? Well, let us know what you think. It is Starr Radio UK, 19 minutes past the top of the hour, so bringing you updates from Nigeria. Share the page with your friends and loved ones and invite them to like our pages as well. Okay, one other story before I bring a couple of other stories before I bring the updates to close there. But development from the Nnamdi Kanu case still going on. Nnamdi Kanu sues federal government. AGF demands 50 billion naira in damages. Now, when Sunday Igboho's case was heard, and then the courts ruled that he should be, compensated for the damage to his property and stuff like that. They've not done it. So Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of the Indigenous People's Party, has people of Biafra, has demanded 50 billion in damages against the federal government over the alleged violation of his rights. Now, Mr. Kanu filed the suit marked FHC ABJ CS 462 stroke 2022 on Thursday through his lead counsel Mike Ozekome against the federal government and Abubakar Malami, the Attorney General of the Federation. He sought the court to declare that his abduction and extraordinary rendition to Nigeria without being subjected to extant extradition proceedings hearing in Kenya where he was abducted is a clear violation of Article 12 Subsection 4 of the Africa Charter on Human and People's Rights Ratification and Enforcement Act CAP A9 LFN 2004. But do you think there is any kind of rule of law when it comes to such things? Well, they're looking for you, they renditioned you, they brought you there. As far as they are concerned, that's what they wanted to do, and they've done that. But interestingly, let's hear what Soyinka has said about some issue that is going on in Nigeria. The president of the Humanist Association of Nigeria, Mubarak Bala, has been sentenced to 24 years in prison for blasphemy after months in solitary detention and early confinement in a mental institution, raising questions about the country's tolerance for religious freedom and right to free speech. But Professor Wole Soyinka, speaking to the Africa Report, described the sentence as mockery of justice and calls on human rights organizations to launch a campaign against the development. The Nobel laureate says the incident was part of the disadvantages of Sharia law being practiced in the north. Now, adding that the concept of blasphemy ought not to exist in a country like Nigeria, which claims to be secular. So the question once again is, Nigeria a secular state? Or some part are secular, others are not? I want to know that. I think yesterday Chance of Ranks discussing that issue as well. But well, it says that the Nobel, okay, I understand that the matter will be appealed, which is good, but I think beyond the judicial process, civil society organizations should rise to the occasion and insist that Nigeria is a secular nation and has no recognized religion. We are not living in a nation but a cage if we imprison people for their religious views, he adds. He goes on further to say Nigeria is currently at war battling terrorists in the northeast and the northwest and have killed millions and left others displaced. Having been overwhelmed, the authorities in recent years introduced a controversial amnesty program for the terrorists who lay down their arms. But while the terrorists who surrender escape persecution and are given a government stipend, atheists and blasphemers in the northern Nigeria are not so lucky. If they are not lynched by an angry mob or sentenced to death by a court, they get long prison sentences. And that is the story of Mubarak Bala. But Bala, who is the president of the Humanist Society of Nigeria, has paid a stiff penalty for their atheist view in 2014 when he first publicly renounced Islam. He was confined to psychiatric ward of Aminu Kano Teaching Hospital by his pious family for about 2 weeks before he was released following pressure from right groups. He eventually decided to leave Kano, one of the most volatile states in the country, and relocated to Abuja, the country's capital, that is more liberal than other areas of the north where Sharia law is practiced and religiously enforced. In Abuja, he was embraced by the Atheist Society and soon became the president of the Humanist Association of Nigeria and got married. He had an active Facebook page on which he insulted religious figures including Jesus Christ and Prophet Muhammad. His pages were filled with death threats and he was warned never to set foot in the Muslim north as he would pay dearly for it. But what happened? In April 2020, when his wife had just given birth to their first child, Bala got wind of the government's plan to announce a lockdown in Abuja due to the rising cases of COVID-19, and they decided to quickly visit Kaduna State for an event and promised to return soon. Now, Mubarak and I, based in Abuja, he said, I had just given birth to a baby boy earlier in the year through C-section and I hadn't completely recovered when he decided to travel to Kaduna. We spoke in the morning of April 28th. He said he couldn't return because of the lockdown but promised to come back immediately after the lockdown. His wife, Amina Ahmed, recalled. However, when a Kano-based lawyer, Salisu Umar, got information that Bala was in neighboring Kaduna State, he swiftly wrote a petition to the police demanding his arrest for making inciting comments about Prophet Muhammad behavior. Umar claimed that he had breached peace in Kano State. The petition was handled with uncommon speed by Nigerian police. So I don't know. So the Nigerian, well, because they are charged, they try to say that because he has caused unrest or behavior that has brought about a bit of what. Let me put it that way: unrest in that part of the community, and therefore he needs to be apprehended. But when we have people, terrorists, rampaging, people doing all sorts, they will never expedite things. Even when it came to labeling people who were undertaking such nefarious activities, it took them a long time for them to come to that point to say that these are terrorist activities. But well, so when people say that, well, this is a country that they don't want to be part of any longer, do you blame them? Because there's no freedom. You know, interestingly, one thing that baffles me is that, I mean, I don't want to bring religion in it per se, but when it comes to Africans, there's something people come to introduce things to us. Okay, now those of us who have been converted to it, we are rather we want to supersede those who even introduce that thing to us. You catch my drift, and that seems to be the problem there. But well, it's all that's happening across the globe. This is what is happening in Nigeria, and that is why the Soyinka has said about it. He says that the Nobel laureate is saying that, well, to imprison somebody for his religious views is like a nation, or in Nigeria it's not a nation but a cage. So it's a cage. So as of when you do something, they just hit you because we are all, we are being controlled or manipulated by those in authority. What do you think about that? Let me hear from you. It's all coming away from Star Radio UK. Let me look at one other story, and then we'll bring the updates to a close. It's all coming away from Star Radio UK. Okay. Well, it looks like that has been all. Okay. Okay. Let me bring one. This is one celebrated musician on the who came from the African continent. 25 years after the death of Nigeria's music legend Fela Kuti, his son Femi and grandson made carry on his music duo double album Legacy was nominated for the Grammys. That's what the story says. They've done well. They've done well. As I would say all the time. Well, the legacy is there. This morning I was listening to a podcast. No, it was a program that I was producing, and the person was talking about is it ancestral stuff? Okay, and then something in the bloodline. You know, when it comes to things like that, I mean, they are supposed to be let me put it this way: people who entertainers, and I think they've done that. The dad started it, and they have gone on to continue his legacy. Well, kudos to them. Now, a final story that has come. Oh, here about David. Good morning to you. I hope you are doing very, very well as well. Regards to the family. Yes, a chieftain of the All Progressive Congress, Chikwes Okuri, has lamented that the marginalization and exclusion of Igbo people is a well-orchestrated plot to make sure that the civil war continues by other means. That's a scary one. Okuri, who made this assertion while speaking with journalists on Friday in Abuja, noted that the plot was designed to exclude Indigo from the commanding heights of Nigeria's economy, bureaucracy, and politics. Now, he was of the view that the war against Indigo did not end in 1970. Okori stated that there is an orchestrated, well-plotted design to exclude Indigo from the commanding heights of Nigeria's economy, bureaucracy, and politics. The marginalization, exclusion of Igbo people is a well-orchestrated plot to make sure that the civil war continued by other means, but not being able to overcome it is as a result of a lack of political leadership on the part of Igbo. However, he blamed the lack of sustained leadership of Indigo from some of the problems being experienced by people of the Southeast extraction in the post-Civil War Nigeria. It was with proper leadership that the Igbo were relevant in the first place. When the leadership was no longer it destabilized them, and they have not been able to get back on track, he added. But do you think that maybe we have Nnamdi Kanu and some other people who are still flying the flag of the Igbo people, Indigo people? I don't know the difference between the Indigo and Igbo. Somebody should educate me on that. Okay, do you think they are doing their best there? What do you think? Well, this is all coming your way from Star Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Well, as I said, Nnamdi Kanu is still in court. As and when we have any more information, we'll be bringing to you whatever the ruling is going to be as well. Okay. Some updates from there. That has come my way. Kanu is to be conducted. Let me bring you the trial of the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu, is to be conducted in secret, in line with the new practice direction on terrorism-related cases adopted by the Federal High Court. In line with the development, the venue of Kanu's trial will move from the Abuja FHC, Federal High Court, to the Code of Conduct Tribunal, the CCT headquarters in Abuja. According to the new practice direction, trial terrorism related offences are to henceforth be conducted in camera. Interesting. Are they trying to bring people in for people to understand or to throw more light so that people understand exactly what perpetrators or accused are actually done or something of the sort? That would be quite an interesting one. According to the new practice, trials of terrorism-related offences are to henceforth be conducted in camera. Now, Chief Judge of the Federal High Court, John Soho, who issued a new practice direction, said it was adopted in line with the provision of Section 254 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 as amended. Under the new arrangements, media coverage of terrorism-related proceedings is strictly prohibited unless permitted by the court. Now, order 2 of the new practice directions, which deals with trial proceedings, stated the perimeters of the court sitting over a terrorism trial shall be secured for the period of the trial for the safety of litigants and court officials. Now, it goes further to say distance and size of perimeters to be secured for the trial shall be determined based on the recommendation of security agencies on a case-by-case basis. No person shall be allowed within the secured perimeters save the approved court officials, parties, and number of pre-registered legal practitioners on either side. Now, witnesses and any other persons as may be directed by the judge or the most senior judge in the given circumstances. Only the judges, other essential court staff, and security agencies involved in the particular case and their vehicles shall access the court premises. The proceedings of offences of terrorism subject to the provision of Section 232 of the Administration of Criminal Justice Act 2015 and the Section 34 of the Terrorism Prevention Act 2011 as amended shall be held in camera or as may be ordered by the court. The names, addresses, telephone numbers, and identities of the victims of such offences or witnesses in the proceedings shall not be disclosed in any record or report of the proceedings, and it shall be sufficient to designate the names of the victims or witnesses with a combination of alphabets. Now, this is quite a different level of the whole case that is coming out now. Now, it's going to be a kangaroo court where they just take you there because you don't know what exactly is going on. They can restrict people who are coming in. They can restrict your representative. They can say that, well, you've gone over by the number of people who are supposed to be in there, and therefore will not allow them to come in. And therefore, they're not being able to come in. Will that mean that maybe your case will be like like a mashed potato, and it can just be swallowed just like that? Well, what do you think is going to happen there? Do you think Nnamdi Kanu is going to get a fair trial, or are they just trying to expedite things so that the president can pardon him to better the chances of the APC in the coming election? What do you think? Well, it's all coming away from Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. That's been updates from Nigeria. We're going to take a break, and once we come back, I'll bring you some of the stories making the rounds. Stay tuned. Don't you go away. I remain yours sincerely, the one and only Archie.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission-free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Tune in to On Point here on Starr Radio UK with Empress Regina every Monday at 5 p.m. GMT. Looking forward to your company.
Yes, I want to know which way Nigeria is heading to. Which way Nigeria.
This is Starr Radio in your car,
At work.
at home,
On your smartphone.
Which way to go? I love my fatherland. Oh yeah. I want to know. I want to know which way Nigeria is heading to. Many years after independence, we still find it hard to start. How long shall we be patient before we reach the promised land? Let's save Nigeria, so Nigeria won't die. Which way Nigeria? Which way Nigeria?
This is Starr Radio UK.
The coolest way to start your weekend.
Yes, I want to know which way Nigeria is heading to. Every little thing that goes wrong, we start to blame the government. We know everything that goes wrong because we are part of the government. Let's save Nigeria, so Nigeria won't die. Which way Nigeria? Which way Nigeria? Tell me which way to go? Which way to go? I love my fatherland. Oh yeah. I want to know which way Nigeria is heading to. Inefficiency and indiscipline is ruining the country now. Corruption here, there and everywhere. Inflation is soaring high. Let's save Nigeria, so Nigeria won't die. Which way Nigeria? Which way Nigeria? Which way to go? Which way to go? I love my fatherland. Oh sure, sure. I want to know. Yes, I want to know. Which way Nigeria is heading to. We made mistakes during the oil boom, not knowing that was our doom. Some people now have everything, while many, many have nothing. Let's save Nigeria, so Nigeria won't fall. Which way Nigeria? Which way Nigeria? Which way to go? Which way to go? I love my fatherland. Oh yeah. I want to know. Yes, I want to know. Which way Nigeria is heading to. Green revolution is a reality. Let's give it a chance to grow.
Okay, something from the one and only Sonny Okuson. It says, which way Nigeria? Nigeria at crossroads. But interestingly, whilst I was enjoying that piece of music from Sonny Okuson, which way Nigeria, I chanced by this story and I thought, it'd be nice to share with you. Now, Nigerian youth disregard parents, only accept social media advice, a cleric is saying. Now, you are a youth, you are listening to your parents, listening to us. Do you think that is true? Well, interestingly, he goes on further to say, addiction to social media is breeding indiscipline, particularly in the youth, says Joshua Ayokani of the Christ the King Church, Ilorin. Declared in Ilorin. They don't listen to their parents and the elderly when advised, as they declare such advice as old school, noted the cleric. The cleric lamented that Nigerian youth had become addicted to social media, resulting in immorality. Now, do you think that the introduction of people's exposure to social media has made what has made our nations, our communities immoral to that extent where people can go rampaging, taking guns? I want money. Where is the money? And then I just come brandishing my gun and then bum, and then I don't give a hoot what is going to happen to you. I'm robbing you. I'm doing yahoo and all stuff. Do you think that is what is causing it? Is it social media that is inciting people or influencing how people think? I want to have your take on that. That'll be quite an interesting one. And if that is it, don't we have churches and all stuff also going on, and religious activities going on social media? Why are they not being pulled towards that one, but rather towards things that might call it destroy their lives or make them immoral. I want to hear your take on that. It's all coming your way from Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. 17 minutes to the top of the hour at a time. That's 17 minutes to 12. Depending on where you are, it's either plus or minus. Yes. Okay. So now let's move on to some other stories. Now, straight, still on the African continent. Now, judiciary perceived to be biased, a big threat to national security. Who is speaking? Kandapa, who is the National Security Minister. Albert Kandapa has warned that the perception that the judiciary is biased has dire consequence on the country's security. According to him, citizens may be forced to take the law into their own hands for personal satisfaction if the bench is deemed to be biased. In recent months, opposition National Democratic Congress, in particular, has accused the judiciary of being biased against it after losing a string of cases before the courts. But speaking during a sensation workshop on the national security strategy for judges of the Superior Court, Mr. Kandapa cautioned against such characterization, stressing they could mar the security structure and established system of justice. So let me ask you this question. When you see blatantly that people are flouting the law, I'm not looking at the rules of the game, and I just coming out with instructions or making decisions from there. Do you think that people should just be there and just be quiet and say, oh, it's fine for the sake of security, so I'm not going to be saying anything, I'm not going to be criticizing it, the ruling though. So let me take you back to, is it 2012 or thereabout, when the MPP went to court after former President Mahama won that election. You remember that election? Okay. Now, I forgot. Is it 2012 when they went to the courts? I think so. I think 2012. I've forgotten. But I remember I was on air and we're discussing it. Now, so when that ruling took place, I remember very, very well that the former president, the current president, then candidate Akufo-Addo, criticized the ruling. He criticized the ruling. He said he didn't accept it. That means that he thinks that it should have been ruled in his favor. Okay? Now, so in the same vein, people might say that, well, the NDC are also saying the same thing here, saying that cases that have been brought before the courts, the judges have not actually dealt well with it, and therefore they are of the view that whatever the judges are doing is undermining the rule of law in the country. Because if I decide that, typical cases, let's talk about the land dispute. Now, I know I bought a land, I've got everything and everything to prove. Okay? Now, somebody somehow tried to use some chukoko means to now get their ways, get on documents or something, and just come out to say that is our land, and you go to the court, and because people have been compromised, they decide to make a ruling in favor of the person who has given them whatever monies, and therefore the real person, the true owner of the land, is deprived of the land. Now, do you think the person is just going to sit down and say, well, this is what has happened, oh, the courts are good, the judges are perfect? Would you say that? So if Kandapa is saying that, then the onus rests on the judges to actually make sure that they adjudicate right. If not, then it's going to get the country, everybody just taking the laws into their own hands, saying that they cannot seek redress from the courts, and therefore they have to use their own ways to do it. But what do you think about all that? I'll be opening the lines pretty soon for you to add your voice to the discussions. This is all coming your way from Starr Radio UK. He goes on to say, injustice occasioned as a result of the absence of effective justice delivery system or delayed justice or biased justice is certainly a threat to national security, which I agree with him 100%. So what are our judges doing? What are our judges doing? So indeed, when injustices are balanced, particularly in situations where the bench, which is considered the final arbiter of disputes, is deemed biased, citizens tend to take the law into their own hands, most times without recourse to established systems of justice delivery. So by they not acting, being judicious enough, is undermining their position there. And what do you think? If somebody goes to say something, I mean, take a typical case of what is happening in Nigeria, where people are being killed, where people are saying that these are the ones doing it, and then they're not going after them, and then I mean, look at the way the security agencies and everything goes on. And when the court has ruled that this is what's supposed to be, and nobody seemed to give a hoot about it. A court rules in Ghana that somebody should be granted bail. And the people decide, no, the security agencies, no, we won't allow that to happen. So, are we not undermining our own systems? And then we sit down to say, when evil or when people decide to do their own thing, take the laws into their own hands. I mean, well, okay. This is all coming your way from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. As I said earlier on, my apologies for my should I say clogged nose, so not making me sound the way I sound all the time. My apologies for that. It is all coming away from Starr Radio UK. Well, the Vice President of Ghana, the incumbent Vice President, Vice President Mahmoud Bawumia, has acknowledged Ghanaians are going through trying times, but says other factors rather than government is to blame. Really, the economy is what we feel in our pockets. I acknowledge that we are going through challenging times, he said at a lecture on the economy of a National Tertiary Students Confederacy, a TEXCON, a training on orientation conference at Kaswa in the Central Region on Thursday. He added, this is the reality countries and economies throughout the world are experiencing. Severe challenges following the COVID-19 pandemic and more recent Russia-Ukraine war. The pandemic, which started early in 2020, resulted in the great economic depression since the 1930s, with most countries recording negative growth. Now, supply chain disruption and rising price of oil have resulted in the price of fuel going up across the globe. The Vice President also, in his address, blamed the fall of the cedi on the challenges that confronted the passage of the budget. What challenges was that? The financial markets assessment of the 2022 budget unfortunately concluded that our projected 40% increase in revenue, which underpinned the 2022 budget, was not likely to materialize, and therefore our deficit will increase. He disclosed during Dankwa Institute and MBP's TESCON organized event on the state of the economy on Thursday, April 7. Now, he continued, the chaotic battle in Parliament over the budget and the passage of the budget did not also help matters. This created uncertainty and signal to the market that government may not be able to get most of its programs passed in a tightly balanced Parliament. This further reinforced the lack of confidence by investors in the budget. But before that, we've had a problem. Before all the back and forth, we've had that problem where there were scuffles in Parliament. We've already had that problem. So what are they talking about there? Well, this is all coming away from Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Now, interestingly, moving on to some other stories as well. Ghana did abstain from vote to suspend Russia from the UN Human Rights Council. Now, Ghana did not vote to suspend Russia from the UN Human Rights Council. 93 countries voted in favor of the motion. Now, 24 countries voted against the motion. Now, Ghana abstained from a vote that would have seen the suspension of Vladimir Putin's Russia from the UN Human Rights Council. The United Nations General Assembly voted on Thursday, April 7, to suspend Russia from the UN Human Rights Council over reports of gross and systemic violation and abuses of human rights in Ukraine. The resolution, which took place on Thursday, April 2022, received a two-thirds majority of members voting minus abstentions in the 193 member assembly, with 93 nations voting in favor with 24 against. Now, 58 abstained from the process. Now, Russia, China, Cuba, North Korea, Iran, Syria, and Vietnam were among those who voted against. Now, those abstaining included India, Brazil, South Africa, Mexico, Egypt, Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates, Jordan, Qatar, Kuwait, Iraq, Pakistan, Singapore, Thailand, Malaysia, Indonesia, and Cambodia. The meeting marked the resumption of a special emergency session of the war in Ukraine and followed reports of violations committed by Russia. Now, why did Ghana abstain? Why did Ghana abstain? That's the question, and that's what I really want to know. Is it that because we also see ourselves that we are also committing some human right abuses, or from maybe just trying to we don't see the who is right in this war and whatever is being said. Killings, unlawful killings that have taken place. Somebody says it's war. When it's war, things do happen. Well, with everything that has gone on, the murder of civilians, do you think it was right for Ghana to abstain? Well, I didn't see Nigeria abstaining, so that means Nigeria might have voted for that. Is it because Ghana wants to maybe get some monies from Russia, or what do you think? Well, it is all coming away from Starr Radio UK. 6 minutes to the top of the hour. I'll be opening the lines in the next 6 minutes, so just bear with me. Moving on straight to other parts of the African continent. Party of the post-Guinean President Condé have denounced harassment. The party of former Guinean President Alpha Condé has denounced what it refers to as harassment and arbitrary actions of the military junta in power. The party is threatening to suspend participation in national meetings. It is also important to note that unjustified confiscation of the RPG's property throughout the country, as well as the freezing of the private accounts of the RPG and its allies, the RPG Collective and its allies, denounce this arbitrary action and this harassment, which are likely to dangerously compromise a transition that we have always hoped will be peaceful and inclusive. Threatened Domani Dor, a spokesperson for the RPG, said on Wednesday a former Guinean Prime Minister and 3 former ministers were detained on charges of embezzlement. Now, so if the military junta, as they call them, or whatever term that they want to use for them, are saying that, look, there are corruption or embezzlement that have taken place and decided we need to confiscate these items, do you think it is right for this group of people, this party, to also come out to? Well, I know for sure. Even when we're saying that Russia's assets should be frozen in various parts of the world, the Russians are even still complaining about it. So it's something that goes on. But what do you think about all that? I want to have your take on that once the lines are open. Do you think the junta's move is the right thing, or because we want a peaceful transition to democracy or constitutional rule once again? So if people need anything, let's leave them all there. Let's leave everything as it is, and then we will just change the faces and then continue with it. Do you think that is right? Well, this is all coming away from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Now, moving on straight to some other stories making the round. Senate confirms Ketanji Brown Jackson to top court. That's in the U.S. The historic vote means Judge Jackson will be the first black female justice to serve on the court. We say congratulations to her. More grace to the elbow of the president as well. And U.S. Speaker Nancy Pelosi positive for COVID-19. Mrs. Pelosi is the most senior member of Congress so far to report of positive tests. And Canada proposes to ban foreigners from buying homes. Somebody say that's a good one, because if you look at our leaders, our politicians, who will end up, siphoning state funds and they're going to buy properties out there, because they know that we cannot touch them. Well, the Canadians are coming out with that. Well, the Canadians are saying that the Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau has proposed a 2-year ban on some foreigners buying homes. The measure comes as the country grapples with some of the worst housing affordability issues in the world. Prices have jumped more than 20%, pushing the average home in Canada to nearly 817,000 Canadian dollars, and that is 650,000 US dollars, and 495,000 pounds, more than 9 times household income. But industry analyst says it's not clear a ban on foreign buyers, my apologies, will address the problem. Data on purchases by foreign buyers in Canada is limited, but research suggests that they amount for a small fraction of the market. In a quote, it says, "I don't think it's going to have a huge impact," said Ben Meyers, president of the advisory firm Bullpen Research and Consulting in Toronto, who found foreigners accounted for just 1% of purchases in 2020, down from 9% in 2015 and 2016. He goes on further to say, "It is a fairly low number, and let's face it, the people that really want to buy are going to find alternative ways to do it." I could get somebody to buy it. Now, what do you think about all that? There are some of the stories making the rounds in other parts of the world. Okay. Now, before I move on straight to open the lines for you to, ex-fighters brew up new lives after giving up guns more than 5 years after the Colombian peace deal was signed. Efforts incorporates ex-rebels to continue. Colombia to extradite drug kingpin O'Tonnell to U.S. O'Tonnell had faced a bounty of $800,000 before his capture by Colombian special forces last October. These are all stories making the rounds across the globe. It is Star Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Just bear with me. I was being alerted to some movements going on. A Palestinian gunman killed after Tel Aviv attack. He was found after a huge manhunt followed an attack on a bar which killed 2 people, the police have said. It is all coming away from Star Radio UK. Now, top Iranian director accused of plagiarism, an ex-student of Asghar Farhadi, claims he stole the idea of his film, A Hero, from his documentary. Well, and Jordan's Prince Hamza renounces title of Prince. Well, so these are all coming away from Star Radio UK. In the UK front, man has been jailed for murdering teacher Sabina Neza, and then smearing my wife to get at me is awful, says Sunak. So do you think that with that, I mean, there legally there's nothing wrong with Sunak's wife not paying because of the non-dom status that she has, but somebody says she's living in number 11. She's living. So what is all that non-dom about? Well, then she's paying tax for every transaction that she's doing here in the UK. The foreign income from foreign businesses, that is where she is not. But what do you think about it? The debate is going on. I want to have your take about that. Now, do you think that once you are here, if you have some investment in Nigeria, in Ghana, wherever you have your investment, and then they tell you that, hey, you have to, you know, most, I don't want to say it. People are involved in some businesses, but they don't have, you know, the information in the banks here or the institutions here don't have not captured that. But what do you think? Is it fair for us to be chastising her? But people are saying that, well, somebody who owns or is married to someone who is, they are so rich, so rich, and being the Chancellor of the Exchequer, does he understand what you go through? A single parent living in that room where there is all this mold and the children and everything and the difficulty and the challenges that you're going through. Looking at all that, do you think he's the right person? Or do you think maybe we need to get somebody from the scratch who we know that this person has suffered, he's experienced what we've experienced, to take that particular position. What do you think? This is all coming your way from Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Let me announce the lines open and we'll take a break. Now, if you want to join the conversation, call me on 0208 133 2257 or 58. 0208 133 2257 or 58. If you happen to be in Canada, the US or the Caribbean area, it is 001 718 303 2737. 001 718 303 2737. You can text or WhatsApp at 0753 966 1744. 0753 966 1744. Our Twitter handle is Starr Radio UK and our email address is info@starradiouk.com. Get in touch. Okay, let's take a quick break.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission-free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Tune in to On Point here on Starr Radio UK with Empress Regina every Monday at 5 p.m. GMT. Looking forward to your company.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go from Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Are you looking for the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy door-to-door shipment company? Well, look no further. When was the last time your family received a shipment back in Ghana on time and in time? You are not sure? Well, Lamb Shippers, we pride ourselves with being the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy shippers you can use. You are assured of a prompt pickup anywhere in the UK by our personnel. They also make sure your items are well packaged to get to its destination in time. When it comes to door-to-door shipment, look no further. Well, Lamb Shippers, contact us on 07939009321 or 07498911820. Or you can visit our website www.welllamp.co.uk. You can also drop us a mail, info@welllamp@gmail.com. Well Lamp Shippers, fast, reliable, and trustworthy.
hey. 10 men share $10, and one man no get. It's a disgrace. Where is the dollar? 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 Give gorilla bananas to give to monkey. Hey, hey, hey. Give gorilla bananas to give to monkey. You guys know him no go see banana, banana him no go see banana. Monkey no go see banana, banana him no go see banana. Where is the dollar? Where is the dollar? Where is the dollar?
Turn it on. Turn it up.
Where is the dollar? Him no go see banana.
Well, something from the one and only Zongo Man, and this time around he says, "Where is the dollar? Where is the dollar?" Somebody will say, when it comes to Africa, when you ask where is the dollar, you don't get any answer. Well, as Kandapa they say, he's saying that the fact that the judges are not sitting, are not doing what they're supposed to do, and other group of society think that the judges are compromised or are being biased in their rulings, means that it stems up insecurity in the country. Now, what do you think about that? And then an assertion by a clerk in Nigeria, who said, he thinks that children are becoming more disrespectful and immorally bad when it comes to because they are addicted to social media, and therefore that's where they are always then they think that advice is being given by their parents are old school and stuff like that. Now, if you're a parent listening to me, what do you think? Do you think your children are listening to what do you call it, or you're following instructions from Facebook more than they're listening to you? Is it because you are that like a lion barking and doing all sorts? I want to know that. I want to know that. What do you think? Why are your children not gravitating towards you or your advice? I mean, we've all been young and we've grown, and we're still growing and still learning. But there are a few times where you know that some decisions or some advices that your parents were giving you at the time that you decided not to adhere to, the result that come back to bite you on the backside. So is it anything different from what we experienced when we were growing up? I want to have your take on that. But it's all coming your way from Starr Radio. You can remember exactly at 12:30 in the next 18 minutes. I'll be having the money man himself, Mr. Dan Tabiri, CEO of GL Accountancy Services, joining us, and we'll be looking at what he has got for us. Okay, but yes, okay. Yes, so like I said, we'll be having our money man joining in. He'll be joining in all the way from Kent. I don't know what he's going to be discussing, but he will tell you what he's going to be discussing. All right then. Well, it is Starr Radio UK. So now let's quickly look at some of the stories that I did touch on. A man who drove to London in order to attack a stranger has been jailed for life with a minimum term of 36 years for the murder of primary school teacher Sabina Neza. Now, Kozi Salamaj, 36, killed Miss Neza in a park in Kidbrooke, southeast London, in September 2021. CCTV footage captured him striking the 28-year-old over the head until she was unconscious before carrying her away. He then strangled her, removed some of her clothes, and tried to hide her body. Now, Salamaj, a garage worker from Eastbourne in its success, traveled to London on the 17th September, intending to assault a random woman after he was spurned by his estranged wife, the Old Bailey head. Now, Miss Nessa, who taught a year one class at Archie Green Primary School in Catford, was found nearly 24 hours later near a community center in the park. Now, days later, Salamaj from Eastbourne, its success, was arrested in the seaside town and pleaded guilty to murder in February. On Friday, he refused. To come to the Old Bailey and was sentenced in absence. Now, you know, at times when it comes to cases like that, I don't know. Touchwood, I've not been through anything of that before, but when people have lost lives or people have been robbed and stuff like that, sitting down to listen to relive the whole thing that has happened, I don't know how people take that. So at times when the person said, I'm guilty, I did it, provided even the body, there are some who hide the body and they wouldn't tell you where the body is, but you've killed the person. And so I don't want to have you telling me about all the stages and the steps that you took and everything. If there are pictures to that extent, fine, and they are being shown, but for me to sit down to hear the person go, and I did that, and I don't know, but I don't feel very comfortable with that. I don't know, people are there who want to know exactly what is going to happen there. Okay, so when it comes to the money hour, we're going to be looking at a new tax year. We're going to have a look at national insurance levy and 2023 tax rates and allowances. Yes, we're going to be looking at that. So that is exactly, he'll be joining us exactly. He's giving us a 5 minutes grace. So he'll be joining us exactly at 12:35. So make a date when I bring him your way. But I've got Kojo D who has joined us. Let me say, and Mr. Kofi Ali who has also joined us. Well, let me say, Kojo, good afternoon to you.
Oh, good afternoon, Archie. And I can say Kofi Ali also. Good afternoon, Kofi.
Yes.
Good
afternoon. How are you?
I'm good, my brother.
Great. Afternoon, Kofi, and I hope you're also doing very, very well.
Not bad.
Great. Okay, let me come to Kojo first because Kojo, your call came in first. Okay. Yes, Kojo.
Yeah. Sure. You wanted us to talk about Sabina?
Yeah.
Nessa? Well, I think it's a sickening kind of thing for any man to do. And the news broke about the death and somebody I felt so sick. It rightly so described by Sabrina's family that the man is an animal. It's just an animal when they are starved of sex.
It's
only probably a dog who will behave that way. It's so sickening. Then you travel from your home in Eastbourne all the way to somewhere in London, just
come and kill somebody.
I can't even comprehend it in my thinking that somebody is so sick, so depraved. The level of depravity is just unbelievable. But let's forget, we're talking about her. How many women have suffered this kind of fate in Ghana?
Oh yeah.
Recently, I read on the news, someone decided to kill the girlfriend who he had a child with because the girl wanted the woman. This nice woman. I see this pretty looking woman who said, I'm not interested in our relationship again. I want to go my way. I want a divorce. So you take her life. And after taking her life, he went into hiding. He ran away. And the police are still looking for him. I don't know which people do this. I don't know what goes through their minds. What is really going on? They could just be mad or animal. That's the only two things I could say. Really.
Okay. Let's go quickly to Kofi because his sat nav is interfering with it, so we can hear him quickly and then I come back to you. Kofi.
Oh, sorry for myself.
No. You are working and you are.
Good morning to your good self. Good morning to Kojo.
Yes.
And my good morning goes to Frank wherever he is. Wonderful man. Yes. You see, when things happen, we also have to understand human beings are not perfect animals.
Okay.
We are not perfect. We are human beings. We want the good. We want the good because it's the good that even make us happy and relate better.
Yeah.
But there do turn out to be the bad that comes. And when we have the bad, the problem we have with the bad is that when it comes, it's really disruptive because it affects a lot of things and create emotions and create challenges.
Yeah.
So we don't want it. However, we just have to understand we are not perfect. We are human beings and we are many. And it takes all for us to be what we are. Having understood that, when things happen, there are so many sides to whatever has happened. Most time we all see the person who died or who was
whose life was taken
as the only victim and the one we should all side with. But we don't probably see that even the one that did it sometimes can also be a victim. So, because there'll be tension on everyone. Sometimes people do things and we thought, oh, they did it and they're happy they've done it. No. At the time they finish doing it, now they are sober. And it can be challenging. That is one side. So we should take all into consideration.
Okay.
And we should also understand that collectively, we all play a role. We all play a role. We all play a role in what happened to someone. So we should all understand that we are all part of the problem as well. Now, if we know all that thing, then we need to ask ourselves, what did we do? What did he do? Even the victim, what did the victim do? Then it is that picture we put together and come into conclusion so that we can mitigate in future against recurrence. Can you see? What has happened has happened. Somebody has lost their life. Family have lost their members. That's one. The one that did it to his family, they've also lost something because yes, because right now they can't even trust their member.
Yeah,
it's a challenge. So and then together a community. What did we do? Can you see? This is why when things happen, it is important, and that's why I want to come in from where you are. You are saying you have a concern that why don't we want to hear exactly what the one that acted, whose action led to that.
Yeah.
We need to hear him. The reason why we want to hear him is that when we hear him, then we know what we probably might have done or we didn't do because he did it. We want the details. So he will be able to give us the details of what he did. It is from his mouth because the dead one is dead. So it is from his mouth. Then we can see what we can do. Is it lighting that are not there? Do we have men that have issues? Then we put all together and come up with solutions. So there will be scientists, social scientists. I didn't see your comment. All those people, their input really matter and they need to hear this. And for justice to be done, you understand?
Okay.
Even the judge, the family may choose not to listen, but it's healing to a lot of people.
Okay.
So that is it. But it's not about me or you. It's about a society. One of us have done something wrong. How do we find a lasting solution that will work? Of course, the one that did it will go to prison. But what about the rest of us? We are taking him to prison to correct him. Not to when we kill him, what do we gain? So there are so much to learn from an accident.
Okay. Thank you very much, Kofi. Thank you very, very much. Let's go to Kojo. Kojo.
I'm here.
Yes. A quick one. Now. Okay. Just a minute, Kojo. Just a minute. Let me mute Kofi's line. Okay. Okay.
Kofi is left.
Okay, Kofi is left now. Yeah, good. Yeah. Yes. So, what do you think about reliving the cause of what took the life of your loved one? What do you think about that? Like Kofi said, they said, "Oh, it's good. We have to." But sitting in the court, having somebody telling you, and I did that, and I hate the person, and I did that. I thought, no, I know that you killed the person. I don't want to know.
I was going to say. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. That look, I don't want to. Look, if I'm in the situation of Sabina's family, do I want to hear the suffering she went through? I wouldn't want to. It will wrench my heart. It will wrench me just sitting in the court and listen to. So rightly so, when the images were being shown, the CCTV images that captured him, battering her on the head.
Yeah.
With a warning triangle, not once, not twice, not 3 times, not 4 times, not 10 times, 40 times. Would I want to see that CCTV? Only so the family walk out of court because you don't want to see that. It.
Yeah.
You don't want to see how your family member suffered. And after that, he decided to strangle her. It's complete barbarism. What else do we want to hear from that person? The person even refused to appear in court for sentencing. He is not prepared to even. Fine, Kofi says sometimes we need to hear from the people and hear why they have done what
they've done. Yeah.
But here's the case: the person doesn't even want to hear it. He doesn't want to even come in and hear his own sentencing. He refused to even put in apart from pleading guilty, he refused to even answer any questions in court. What are you going to extract from such a person? To be able to see a guiding principle, to say, hey, look, both of them are complete strangers. So, what has happened? He's a complete stranger.
Yeah.
She doesn't know him. To say that there are two sides of the issue. The dead person cannot give their side. And here is the case. There are two different strangers who don't know each other. He decided to sit on a park bench and just grab any woman who passes by first because he's angry with his wife. So every woman becomes a target. What side of the issue are you going to hear, really? Just like what happened to the other woman killed by the police officer. They are two strangers. So that is why I find it quite difficult to really comprehend why somebody would do this kind of thing. When somebody is just a complete stranger. He has no part in making you angry. He's not a relative of the wife. It doesn't relate the wife. She doesn't know the wife. She doesn't know anything about him, really. You just go out. Any woman that you find first, you just decide to take that woman's life. It could be any of our sisters, our daughters, our nieces, somebody we know and love, our friend, who is just going about their daily business. Look, we were listening to the news yesterday. I was with my daughter listening. She just gasped because she couldn't believe somebody could just do that. You don't know the person from anywhere. You just decide you're taking her life. I think better not said, the better it is for all of us. And he will spend the rest of his life in jail. His life is not being taken like he took somebody's life, because UK is not that way. And of course, I don't also advocate for a life for life. So he spend the rest of his life in jail, and I think that it's the judgment, a fair judgment.
Okay. Listen at Starr Radio UK. We've got about 7 minutes because Mr. Tabiri said he's joining us at 35. So we've got 7 minutes. Let's try to use it judiciously. Now, let's quickly jump to Ghana, where the security minister, the National Security Minister, Albert Kandapa, has warned that the perception that the judiciary is biased has dire consequences on the country's security. According to him, citizens may be forced to take the law into their own hands when we know that is something, and he's speaking from the back of the statement that the NDC, the opposition party, has made. But he goes on further to say, he says that injustice occasioned as a result of the absence of an effective justice delivery system or delayed justice or biased justice is certainly a threat to national security. So let me end there. I mean, the fact that when I think I go to the court, I won't get I can't go to the court to seek redress because they'll be biased, because it might be compromising one way or the other. Do you think that actually what Kandapa is saying is undermining the judiciary in that part of the world, or it's making them going to make them sit up and say, okay, let's do the right thing so that we can build a bit of respect from the community?
Well, let me put it this way: justice is an expensive game. I mean, delivering justice through the courts are quite expensive. I mean, as much as he has a point that if people perceive that the justices at the courts or the judges at the court are not delivering justice that they want, the people are forced to take the law into their own hands, and rightly so. When people take the law into their own hands, then they are undermining a safe and secure place for everybody. So let's put it this way: somebody just based on pure suspicion that somebody has wronged them, or somebody, it could just be somebody on a suspicion that somebody broke into their house and decided to take their life. I mean, I think that is the kind of thing he's actually referring to in this type of thing. That if people think the courts are not delivering fair judgment, they think that the justices in the court are not actually delivering for the greater good of people,
society,
society, then that will breed injustice, because that mistrust in that whole third wing of government will have a bigger repercussion on the whole delivery of justice within the country. So if people perceive that judges will deliver wrong judgment when it comes to constitutional matters, that simply will have a distrust for whatever the judges, anytime judges make rulings, just like the recent ruling that was made, and you have people going on talking about there was an error of judgment about the Speaker of Parliament issue, and you can backdate a number of them, then that means that people can take the law into their own hands. And it's just a threat to national security and how secure the people. National security in the sense that that's internal security. It doesn't mean that people are going to overthrow the government necessarily, but it's not great for a democratic society where the rule of law is seen not to be respected by its citizens. So I think that is where it's coming from, and he has a point. But again, other people could also say that, look, all these that has come up is a result of people perceiving the justices to be a bit biased, and that is why all these people go into the media freely to say what they feel they want to say. Then they don't trust the courts. And the same way, people don't trust even the police service to deliver the appropriate, prosecute properly. And other people also think that the Ministry of Justice and the Attorney General's Department is using the courts to go after people they don't like.
Interesting.
So those are where the issues are really.
Okay. Now, before we go to Kent, where our money man is, we've got about a couple of minutes. What was the top of your? I mean, the story that was on your that made your day? Let me put it that way.
I will say, Gabby. Okay. Maybe two things. One, Gabby tackling Piers Morgan. I think that's an interesting one.
An interesting one. Goliath, David and Goliath. A proper one.
Seriously. I don't think Gabby now straying from national politics, international politics, and stretching far into, the U.S. and Piers Morgan. I haven't seen Piers Morgan reply him yet, but again, Piers Morgan is always fond of making comments where he shouldn't be making comments.
Yeah.
So somebody should tackle him, and I think Gabi did well tackling him this time. But Piers hasn't actually responded yet. And the other one too was Ghana abstaining from the vote against Russia in the UN Human Rights Council. But Russia says, which is a bit funny, because I got asked the same question this morning by my daughter. So the countries that are abstained from the vote, how does Russia see them? That was the question my daughter put to me. As a matter of fact, Russia said whether if you voted against them and if you abstain, you both are the same. Either you are for them
or you are not. You cannot sit on the fence.
You can't sit on the fence. And when you sit on the fence, they deem it that you are against them.
So whatever Ghana did didn't work then.
It didn't work. So the next thing she said is that why would somebody abstain and why would Russia take that view? And I said the abstinence is probably because those countries doesn't want to get involved. And some countries too that are abstained sort of have their own human rights abuses.
Yeah, that's where I was coming from. I was thinking, is it because Ghana we got our own abuses and we don't want to? You look at Saudi Arabia, look at most of them, those countries. Is it because of that?
Abuses, but that is what people perceive now. That if you abstain from a Human Rights Council vote against abuses of human rights by one other country, then it means that you're also involved, implicated in similar abuses. You might not be abusing people, but probably in the last year or so, people have perceived, the journalists in Ghana have perceived Ghana as not holding the high standard that we claim to hold, especially when it came to the police force using brutality and security services picking people from radio stations and picking up journalists. So, but that is not to say that is why they abstained. They abstained because they didn't want to be seen as meddling with with Russia, which Ghana are also friends with. So I think that is the issue. But that is still beats my mind. There was a previous vote that Ghana voted against Russia. So why this time around they decided to abstain?
I think they went to sleep. When they woke up, they decided to abstain this time around. Kojo, let me leave you there. Felix has also joined on, and we have Mr. Tabiri. So let me quickly go to Felix, and then we can come to Mr. Tabiri for the money hour. So Kojo, let me say thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yes, Felix, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Look, it's simple.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear.
Right. Look, nations have long-standing relationships. You have to remember that some of us were surprised with the initial vote that the Ghanaian authorities made. And you have to remember that for many years that we were fighting apartheid, we were fighting colonialism. There were some nations that stood with Africans. And you cannot turn your back on friends like that, even when those friends sometimes go wrong. You may caution them quietly. You may not approve of what they've done, but you don't all of a sudden become enemies of long-standing friends. You know, remember all these countries that are saying we should come on their side. They were the people who were fighting against our independence. In fact, we won our independence from some of these countries. And look, if you look at the tragedy that has befallen some of these, in fact, major African countries, it is these countries that are now saying we should come on their side. They have perpetuated these difficulties. If you take a country like Congo, Congo is where it is now, and we are all living. We may not be living the direct consequences of it, but if Congo had taken its rightful place in the world as one of the wealthiest, well-resourced nations, we will feel the effect of it. But look at the state of Congo since the days of independence till now. Look at a country like Angola, 30 years of war. Who were the people who financed UNITA or gave UNITA all the leverage to fight that war for 30 years? Who were the people who stood with the Angolan government and kept whatever was left of the nation state until finally the civil war was over. Many of these African countries, even though we may not get significant economic benefits having to what is it? Having to not vote against Russia or abstain, as you stated. It's simply because, look, in the long term, you don't stab your long-standing friends in the back.
Yeah.
I mean, it may be an uncomfortable truth, but that's the reality. Then secondly, look, what is going on is not great. War is not great. But African countries have also had a chill. That in the face of all these difficulties, this country even has room for racism against African students.
Yeah.
And it becomes very difficult to support a nation like that when, one, you've taken fees from our kids, the country for their medical education, pharmaceutical engineering education, whatever education they have in. You found yourself in an unfortunate situation of war. We are not asking you to pay for the exit of our students. By their own means, they are getting out of the country. And what do they get back? Racism at the train station. I mean, it is bewildering that even in the face of war, they still have room to perpetrate racism. How do you vote for a country like that? You may not vote against them, but you begin to ask yourself questions. Do you stand, and keep yourself away from whatever is going on? Because that's the way I see it now. I mean, if it's an African student, and it's not only one case. It's in numerous cases. It's just a case of people with certain skin color, such as dark skin color, such as Indian, Asian, North Africans, Black Africans. Clearly, in the face of all the bombs that were dropping, they still had room to perpetrate racism at train stations. The African students were not asking for their train fares to be paid. They are
paying their own thing. Just want.
Yes,
they
were not even
travel on the train. That's all.
They had walked long distances to train stations, risking everything, right? Risking everything. And even when they go to the train station, they are now being discriminated against from getting on board the train. It's difficult to ask your foreign minister or UN ambassador to vote in favor of a country like that. Have a good day.
Thank you very much, Felix, and thank you very much, Kojo. And Kofi Ali for that wonderful contribution. It is now time for us to go to our money man who has joined us, Mr. Dan Tabiri, CEO of GIL Accountancy Services. Our money man joining us all the way from Kent. Let me say, Mr. Tabiri, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Archie. Pleasure to come your way again this week.
Yes, pleasure is all mine. Hope you are doing very well, sir.
Yes, I'm good, by God's grace.
Good. We thank God for that. Well, interestingly, was it this week? People have been angry, very, very angry. People are thinking that, well, upon all the challenges that the economy is going through, the energy prices and everything, the government has gone on with the increment of national insurance. And so, I know we're going to be talking about all those bits, but what is your take on it? What is your take on that?
Yeah, so in respect of the national insurance levy, or what the Chancellor would want to call health and social care levy, I mean, this was planned before the expectation of the rises in energy and cost of living standards. So, as we all expected, that the spring budget that he read last month, he was, given the situation that we found ourselves in, he was either going to postpone or cancel it. And as you rightly said, people have been, especially the backbenchers in his party, feel a bit let down because they feel that the measures that he's put in place has not alleviated the hardships that are about to happen. So we saw that he pressed on and kept the levy, and even though he gave some concessions here and there, but he's still adamant that the health and social care levy is needed to be able to prop up the NHS as we move into the next decade.
Okay. Listeners, Mr. Dan Tabiri, CEO of JL Accountancy Services, our money man. When it comes to issues pertaining to your account, I say it all the time. Look no further. Mr. Tabiri is the man to see to address it for you. Today we are having a look at National Insurance Levy 2022 to 2023 tax rates and allowances. So, what are the National Insurance Levy? Yes, let me leave down your court, sir.
Yeah, so we are in a new tax year. We are already 3 days in. So we all know the tax year in the UK starts from the 6th of April 2022. So we are 3 days into the new tax year. And what that means is that usually there are new tax rates and allowances that affect everyone in terms of what you pay on your taxes and your national insurance contributions. So I wanted us to take some time to look at what these changes are and how they're going to impact on us.
Okay, sir.
So we have already mentioned the new health and social care levy, which is 1.25% increase on national insurance costs for everyone. Basically, this is going to affect employees, going to affect businesses, it's going to affect self-employed people. So it's important that we understand what is coming, because with effect from the 1st of April, we're going to start seeing this on our pay slips. So when you receive your pay slip, you would see a note on there with a note that the health and social care levy increase has been applied across board.
Okay.
So this, in effect, would see an increase of 1.25% on our national insurances. What does this mean? So employees previously were paying 12% on national insurance contributions on earnings up to £50,270. With an increase in the levy, we're going to see this jump up to 13.25%. And then also people who earned above £50,270, there was a tax or NI of an additional tax of NI of 2%. This is also going to go up by 1.25% to 3.25%. Then self-employed people usually pay 9% on their profits above the national insurance tax threshold. And this is also going up from 9% to 10.25%. And also where their income is over and above £50,270, you're also going to see additional rate of national insurance of 3.25%, in line with what employees also pay. So we're going to see a 1.25% across board for everyone, whether you are employed or you are self-employed.
Okay. All right. Go on, sir. Go on.
Yeah. So, and also in the spring budget, we saw the Chancellor defended his position by saying that he's made some adjustments or given some concessions to employees and self-employed people. So previously, you start to pay the 12% national insurance rate after your earnings exceeding £9,880. This threshold has now been moved to £12,570 in line with the tax threshold. So that is the point at which you start to pay any national insurance or the increased national insurance that we have for 2022-23 tax year.
Okay.
Now, what this means is that altogether for the next 12 months, anyone who earns less than 34,000 a year would see a reduction overall in their national insurance contributions based on where this the national insurance threshold has been pegged. But anyone who earns over £34,000 a year would expect that they would pay more national insurance this year than the previous year.
When you say more, by what percentage or how much more? 34,000 plus?
Yeah, so there isn't. So depending on how much your salary is above 34,000, you start to see more. I can't give you a percentage-wise increase, but the more you are above 34,000, you would see compared to last year. If you earn the same salary, you would have paid more national insurance this year.
Okay. So go on, please. Go on.
And also to add before you come in, that this threshold increase only takes effect from July this year. I believe it's been pegged at July because the announcement was made so late that it will not allow the various payroll software vendors to be able to adjust their softwares to be able to accommodate this new NI threshold. So the three months, April, May, and June, would give them the time to be able to adjust their systems to be able to calculate correctly the national insurance.
Okay. Now,
contribution.
I was asking the question about this threshold, that 12K plus before you start paying your tax. Now, are they also going to be paying the health and social care? That's this 1.25% increment. Are they also going to be contributing something on that front?
Yes. So yes, that's right. So which means that you don't pay any national insurance if your income is less than 12,570, and the national insurance that you'll be paying will be at the new rate of 13.25%, which includes this health and social care levy.
Okay. Thank you. Please go on, sir.
Yeah, and also the Chancellor did something to help businesses or employers in respect of these increases. So previously, employers had to pay national insurance for their staff, and they had an allowance of £4,000. So unless their national insurance bills, employer national insurance bills exceeded £4,000, employers did not pay any national insurance. With the new increase in the rates, the Chancellor has increased this allowance from £4,000 to £5,000, and this is expected to benefit overall about 670,000 employers all around the UK.
Okay. Go on, sir.
Yeah, so again, the Chancellor did not end there with the national insurance. He also extended the 1.25% levy onto dividends. So where people draw out their income from company profits as dividends, there will be some tax on there. So between any dividend payments between £37,500 up to £37,500, we pay dividends at 7.5%.
Okay.
There will be an increase from the 2022-23 tax year of 1.25%. So these dividend rates are then going to go up to 8.75%. Yes.
Okay.
And then above that, the 37,500 dividend, if you take any dividends above that rate into the higher tax bracket, where previously, share owners or owners of businesses paid dividend tax at the higher rate of 32.5%. Similarly, this is also going to go up to 33.75% across board. So really, this social care levy it touches everybody if you have any of these earnings, and because I believe the Chancellor sees this as a social issue that everybody has to chip in.
Wow, listeners, it is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Bringing the time now to 6 minutes to the top of the hour with me, Mr. Tabiri, CEO of GIL Accountancy Services, our money man. And today we are looking at the National Insurance Levy 2022, tax rates and allowances, etc. there. So wherever you are, don't you go away. But hey, if you have any issues pertaining to your account, so everything that we are saying seems to be something that is going over your head, and you're thinking, what can I do? You find yourself in a situation where you think you have to, you are panicking. Please calm down. You are at the right place. You get in touch with Mr. Tabiri, GIL Accountancy Services. They will give you all the best service when it comes to your account. So don't you go away. During the latter end of the program, he's going to put his contact details there as well, and then you can also get in touch with him. But if you have any concerns pertaining to any of the discussions that we've had, or some clarity pertaining to any of the discussions, go to our podcast session. They are all there, or our social media platform, the platform that we are broadcasting on. They are all there. Just go there, re-listen to it, and you can get in touch with him, and he can throw more light on it for you. Okay, so Mr. Tabiri, let's move on. Any other stuff for us?
Yeah, so we've looked at the national insurance. I think we should also look at the tax threshold and rates. So the tax thresholds for 2021 to 2022 have not been changed. They've remained. The Chancellor has fixed these for 2022 to 2023.
Okay.
So for incomes up to £12,570 per year, there will be you won't pay any tax at all. This means that if you are on a weekly pay amount of £242 per week, you shouldn't pay any tax. You shouldn't see any tax deductions. If you're on a monthly pay schedule, this breaks down to £1,048 per month. You shouldn't pay any tax at all.
Okay.
Above this limit and up to £37,700, you start to pay tax at 20%. And then between 37,000 and 1 to 150,000, you pay tax at 40%. And then above 150%, anything above 150,000, you can see your tax rate rise to 45%.
Interesting.
So that is the tax rate. I think we can also have a look at minimum wage announced. I mean, there are hardships happening, but the Chancellor has not touched the minimum wage rates at all, simply because employers are complaining, also facing hardships, and any increase at all would also affect businesses. So for national minimum wage rates have been fixed for employees aged 23 and above at the national living wage rate of £950. And then we have employees aged between 21 and 22. The rate is 9.18%. Employees between 18 to 20 is fixed at 6.83%. And employees age under 18, including apprentices under 19 years, you're looking at a minimum wage rate of £4.81. So new year, but it's important people check that they are being paid the correct wages for their age category.
Okay, listeners, if you fall you think that whatever we are saying, you're falling short of it. Yes, like I said, you have to get in touch with Mr. Tabiri and he will bring you more on that. Mr. Tabiri, do you have any more for us there?
Yeah, so just to say that, the situation in the UK and tax and politics and all that keeps changing. It's very fluid. If there are any changes happening, I promise you would hear of them first here on Starr Radio. So continue to tune in, continue to dial in and listen for information so that you can position yourself properly and well financially. If you have any concerns or any issues that you would want me to help you with, I'm happy to take your call on 07961248834, 07961248834, or you can reach me via email at dan@gilaccountants.com.
Okay, dan@gilaccountants.com. And let me say, Mr. Tabiri, thank you very, very much for this wonderful submission once again.
You are most welcome and have a good weekend.
And you. We'll catch up later, sir.
Thank you.
Right then. Well, if you listen to us this afternoon and you think that, well, whatever we discussed seemed to be, you didn't get it. You need some more clarity. Yeah, he's put the contact details there. So please get in touch with him and he will help you address it. But when it comes to any issue pertaining to your accounts, any issue, name it, GIL Accountancy Services are there to help you on that front. So get in touch with them and Mr. Dan Tabiri and the team will help you on that front. Just say Starr Radio UK. That is your code there. Just say that and you get some rebate from there as well. Okay. So let me say thank you very much to each and every one of you for tuning in today to listen to us. To my able producer, Mr. Francis Guy, to Mr. Dan Tabiri, Kojo D, Felix, and Mr. Kofi Ali Abdul Yakin. As many of you who were listening to us, Anthony Adedeji Amayo, and all the crew back home, I say God richly bless you until I come your way on Monday with another edition of the morning show. It's been me, Archie. But remember, this afternoon, lots of music going to be coming your way. We call it More Music, Less Talk. I call it Myth Grill. But enjoy this song from a timeless one, a cover version of Don't Worry, Be Happy by the timeless Dima Paul Negaland. Enjoy it, and when it ends and you don't hear from me, it's me, Archie. I say, have a lovely weekend. Bye-bye for now.
Thanks for listening.